Good morning, everybody. Afternoon or evening if you're, in the faraway lands. My name is Holly,
And I'm Globe.
and we'd like to welcome you guys to Morning Mimosas, where we put value in criminal justice. We promote healing and education for our Black community. Y'all, we have a special treat today. We're going to be talking about how social media affects mental health. Y'all, this is a really, really big one for us. But before we do so, let's welcome. She's not even our on-call guest host. She's our fam. She
Honestly.
lives here. But let's welcome Miss Fatu to Morning Mimosas. Yeah, you ain't no
Hi, humans. I like the doorbell.
Yes. Make yourself at home.
I completely appreciate it. And then we have another special treat. You guys have seen her on Morning Mimosas before. We have Miss Domisha from the Zip Mouth Motivation LLC podcast. Welcome her. And just say sorry. She lives in Florida, y'all.
Please say sorry. Hello. Please say sorry. I need all the sympathy right now. I just had a moment when you said that because I knew exactly what you was talking about. I digress. Go ahead. Hey, everybody.
Hello. And
welcome to Sanity.
It looks like my family friend is here. And let's go ahead and give Marav a huge, huge Morning Mimosas welcome, y'all. Welcome, Marav, to Morning Mimosas.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Morning. How are you guys? Great.
We're good. Welcome. Y'all, this is going to be an interesting one for sure. Who wants to get started? Social media affecting mental health. Y'all know I got a lot to say, but I want somebody else to start it off. Who wants to eeny, meeny, miny, mo? Who wants to go?
Get the tiger by his toe. I feel like I'm always the first. I'm always talking. I feel like people don't realize that social media is a snapshot into someone's life. And people always want to put their best foot forward. So they're not really going to post negative things that go on. It's almost like a showcase of what I have and you don't have. A lot of people are very unhappy in their life, in their relationships, and just all around well-being, but then they project online as if everything is going great. And so it gives off the impression that if your life is not like this, then something is wrong with you. And so not only does it affect like adult age people who have the mental thought to process these things that may not be true, then you have younger people who think that they have to keep up with the way a person's body looks, the way they dress, what they have, what their house looks like, what kind of car they drive. I think that even some people will go for a test drive, do a video, and then post it, and that's not even their car.
No, they definitely do that. There are a lot of people who are faking the luxury life, who are going in debt to project this great fantasy life. A lot of people. That is growing more and more these days. I've seen it.
Yeah, I see that.
And they're
I see that a lot.
So miserable. I always judge that if this person is always talking about their life, they're not talking about anything else, about who they are, their views on things, anything else, just their life. They must be trying to speak some joy into existence or something.
Maybe
or trying to compensate.
That's good. I like that. Speak the joy into
existence. It's something like that. They're trying to project this reality that they're not experiencing. Because if you do have a full life, you are going to share a lot of things with people. You're going to share your views on things. You're going to laugh. You're going to share jokes. There'll be a selfie in here and there, but a selfie every day. Unless the only time I see that and the person's being transparent is if they are trying to boost their self-esteem, and they'll say that this is my challenge is to take a picture of me smiling every day. But that's the only reason anybody would post something like that is they're trying to build themselves up, trying to fake it till they make it.
Yeah.
I get
And the amount of positive posts, that positive things that get posted is ridiculous. But the likes that these toxic sites have is so unreal.
shade
So
room.
it's like watching the news. I get triggered watching the news. I don't even watch the news anymore, actually.
Yeah, I have to read it. Even the State of Union address, anything. I wait for the transcripts the next day. I can't watch it.
I feel that. The shade room is, I think when it comes to social media, the shade room is probably one of the biggest platforms that
Yeah.
Mm.
has that issue. Yeah, they have like their, their positive, what they call their positive images, right? But for the most part, they show, trash. Let's just, call it what it is, trash. I know trash can, but they just show just a whole bunch of garbage, and it's just what is this information doing for people? Like when two girls get into it about a guy or something, I'm like, what is this doing for us? How is this information going to help us in the long run? I'm just like, what? I don't get that part. I get they need to sell stories because they need to get their money or whatever it is, but what is the purpose of that?
It's not to help us. It's all for profit. They profit off of us internalizing all this information, because then we get sad, we get depressed. They put in Amazon and whatever shopping sites you go to, they'll put ads right in the middle of the news feed. That it's just a part of it. They just want you to consume. It's really just to make us consumers to our detriment.
Yeah.
A lot of times I tell people like social media is basically just entertainment. It's for you to be entertained, whether it's negative or not. It's just entertainment because people are not completely being truthful about what's going on in their life. Because it's just a bunch of friends. Like all of us are right here, right now. I might tell Fantu something. I might tell Holly something. Like we might tell each other different things because it's just the same way. Yep. So when you get on social media, it's basically just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You might not be that way, fake it till make it. That might not be your life for real, but you're gonna make it seem that. But I think that people hold on to it as if it's real. You know what I'm saying? It's like last week I posted some things, and so people were asking me, was I okay? And was somebody messing with me? And I'm thinking like, why? No. You know what I'm saying? I'm just posting what I agree with, or what I find to be very interesting because I want to see, like, do other people think like this, or am I being crazy? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like my thing, it go from positive to politics, but that's who I am.
Right. That same here. I'm like, no, I'm happy at home. However, I do feel strongly about this and I still want to share this. Like that's still a part of me are my politics and my views and philosophies. And that is why I assess how honest people are being online by how much they post about their life. If they are always posting about it, I know that something else is probably going on.
Right. Because now it's content. And like you said, it's for us to consume. Facebook is like, well, what's on your mind? Well, this is on my mind. Nobody is well, I take that back because some people do. But not everyone is posting, I'm depressed or I'm stressed out. Or just viewing your life online is making me feel like I have to be super skinny or I have to wear a lot of makeup or me and my boyfriend have to go through drama because that's what the persona is online. You know what I'm saying? But what it is, the social media realizes that it touches your subconscious. So something that you see and take it through your eyes, it gets into your mind. So now you think that's what life is, but it's not reality.
No.
Seriously.
I definitely have my days where I'll open up one of the apps and I'll instantly see something that's negative and then I'm done with social media for the rest of the day. Like I just can't do it. And even with me like unfriending pages to trying to clean up my timeline, they still
pop up. They still, I've unfollowed people. I haven't followed the Shade Room in years. However, I still see it from other people that share it. And I wish there was a way just to mute all that kind of content or the Kevin Samuels group. That's always popping up in my feed. And I don't have anyone who aligns with those views on my page, but they get dragged in by arguing with those people. And now people will purposely post something controversial they don't even necessarily agree with it, but they know that it'll bring people to their page. They'll get engagement, and they make money from it.
Yeah. People do anything online for money, which is so disturbing, because you may not be trying to influence people, but other people are watching that, especially younger people are watching it, and they're just doing the absolute most, killing themselves. And remember the Tide challenges and all these other things, that little the crate challenge. Like, why are you putting yourself in harm's way just to get likes?
Right.
It's almost like if people don't like your stuff, then you feel less than.
They do, though. They honestly do. Like, people honestly feel like if they don't, they looking at the likes, like they're getting 100 likes, 200 likes, 300 likes, and if they don't get those, then they will delete posts, or they will be like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how they determine the love, which becomes a mental thing, because now you think likes are love. Oh, these people really like me, or these people. You know, it's like having on an ugly outfit. Because you're popular, everybody going to tell you, "Oh, that outfit cute," but it's not cute,
right?
Yeah.
I love that ugly outfit.
Right.
Bad on you,
that is so true, though.
You are popular and you just got 200 likes, then everybody like, "Oh yeah, I look cute." No, they didn't tell you that it was ripped inside on the, and then they didn't tell you that it was a little bit too tight on that end right there. And they didn't tell you that because they're your friend, and so you think that they're saying like the outfit is cute, but they're not. They're just being your friend, not even really looking at your post. Just, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heart react by default because I'm rooting for everybody. But I'm not thinking too deep into it. I'm not like, sometimes if I'm really impressed, I'll comment like, well, okay, white shoes, whatever. But I'm consuming just like everybody else. Oh, that's someone I love and respect. Heart react. I don't even have to really like what they're wearing or anything. Just showing a little bit of love, but I don't necessarily love that picture. However, you shouldn't measure it by that. They now have an option where you can you can hide the numbers. So you don't know how many people are reacting. And I have that on because I never cared. What I want is people to comment. I want to know how you feel about what I said. Wow. And if not, I can't wait to see it next year in my memories and see what y'all think this year.
That's a good thing, because what I absolutely hate is when someone has content that you do agree with and you like it, they think you like them, like you want to talk to them romantically. Like, when did one equate to the other one? What if I just agree with what you're saying, but I don't want to sleep with you? That's not the end game here. And so it makes me not want to like people's stuff at all, like, because I think it's weird.
Yeah, I've had that issue. And they're like, really? I'm like, I have a whole fiance. They're like, oh, I didn't know you were liking my posts. And I'm like,
yeah, that's what it was. That's all that was. I was liking your post.
Right.
Like that. Like,
I like what you said.
And that's what I say. People need to like check your mental health, because if you really think that like these people really like you for who you are, some of them may do, but you have, I don't know, you have to snap out of that and come back to reality. Like, people just be way too into the virtual world,
And then I like the way you touched on that point when you were saying like the positive stuff people don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing my business for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I've been posting positive stuff for a long time. I don't look at I don't care if you like it or not. That's how I feel at the moment. But other people who are trying to flip over from being negative to positive, they struggle because they're saying that, well, nobody's liking my post or nobody's paying attention to what I'm posting. And I tell them all the time, don't worry about the like. It's not about the people. And sometimes you have to remove certain people out. Like, people are telling me about fights and drama and stuff, and I'm like, I don't have any kind of friends on my I don't have those people. I don't know how y'all see these things because I don't see them. You know what I'm saying? So it just determines like if a person stays positive or if they go negative. You know what I'm saying? Based on when I post something negative, I can get on there and twerk, and everybody gonna love it. Ooh, yeah. But then I post like, no, I love you, and nobody comments or likes it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. There was just this really big person on Facebook who used to post a lot of negative things. They were true and they were constructive, but it was negative. And she flipped. she didn't change her views. She just wanted to focus on her new move and how she's enjoying life now. And everyone felt betrayed by her and started making negative posts about her. And I was just like, this is a young girl who's still finding herself. A lot of people are twice her age and are upset that she wants to focus on joy.
Yeah. Because you're not supposed to be happy, because miserable people buy stuff to make them happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I call it retail therapy.
Right.
Mm.
That's what they call it. They call it retail therapy, but really it's you feeling down or depressed, and then you putting a salve over it. So it's really a trick. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I said, at what point do we get tired of being tricked? But I was talking about in general, like when it comes to social media and it comes to your views about what is okay and what is acceptable. You know what I'm saying? It's like African American women always going back and forth and fighting and tussling in the streets, and then you got the people watching them, they videoing them do that. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody, now everybody like, oh, I can't believe that happened. Well, why didn't you break it up? Why didn't you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got people out here fighting. You know, you got 40-something-year-old women fighting and scrapping in the streets like they cats and dogs.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody's
talk about that?
Everybody's pulling out their cameras. Nobody's pulling out compassion. Like cameras over compassion now, right? That's really what it is.
I don't think people know what compassion is. Even how to spell it at this point.
And they're all drinking the Kool-Aid, so they're all too miserable to even access those human feelings or human tools, because they're just trying to feel better than everybody else online too.
That part, I got to tear you down to feel better, not realizing that we can all feel good and thrive at the same time.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. Like, why I got to tear you down all on the internet, put your business out there, expose you. And how does that make you feel good? And then you laugh and it's funny. But then someone does it to you, now it's no longer funny. They should have did that. So it becomes
that part.
Like social media makes you tit for tat instead of just let's be mature. You know what I'm saying? I always think about this thing that, and I'm a little bit older, so I always think about this thing that Prince said in an interview he had. He said in the interview, he said, sometimes you have to step outside the matrix. Computers are nice, you know what I'm saying, but don't allow the computers to overtake who you are, because that's essentially what happened.
Yeah, it's true.
I agree.
Perfectly stated. Yes.
Marav, my love. Yeah. You have anything you want to say? I know we've been so this is just how we do.
They're all like perfectly making sense. I agree with everything you guys said.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's damaging. It makes people commit suicide. It makes people to do awful stuff just to feel loved. And part of it is because you don't feel loved by the real people in your life. So you need these fake people, and if these fake people love you, then maybe the real people will love you. But it just doesn't. It just doesn't work like that.
But hey, ladies,
especially if you don't love you.
That part. That's the first and foremost.
For sure. But I showed my my morning mimosa ladies a video earlier, and I want to share it with the rest of you guys. It's pretty brief. It's only like 41 seconds, but it definitely ties into everything that we are speaking of today. And we're going to go ahead and present it. Y'all know I'm a presenter. So, and y'all know TikTok is my go-to. Thank you, TikTok. Don't ever go away, TikTok. Ignore the government. But yeah, here it goes. All right. Y'all know my internet be interneting.
These days have depression and anxiety. It's because they're in constant comparison mode. You're comparing yourself to all of these different people and losing yourself in the process. And that's where depression comes from. That's where anxiety comes from. It's from losing yourself. You need to focus on enjoying your life, embracing who you are, being confident in yourself. Stop worrying about the likes and the views and all of those superficial things. Focus on being the best version of you that you can be. And I promise you, your mental health will improve tenfold.
Agreed.
All
Agreed.
of that.
Agreed.
All of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts. I see a lot of people have those breakthroughs too, where they'll take a hiatus and journal or do some healthy thing to get back in touch with themselves, and they'll come back and they will be a completely different person. They operate completely differently online, and I love when I see those transformations for people.
That's great. I
I
like
do
that.
too.
That was a good video.
Yeah.
It was.
Mhm.
Like,
I'm gonna
real short and sweet.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and speak on like my experience with social media and mental health, if I may. So you know, I'm 30, and even though I'm gonna get this some shit from Kay later, and probably from Miss Foxy too. But you know, there's just like this perception where you have to have like a certain kind of something, right? And for some reason, I used to like see social media like couples and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, goals and relationships, and that shit used to actually affect me because I'm like, why is my relationships not like this or blah 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 blah, right? But a good friend named Kay once told me is that some things are a mirage. It's not, things are not as they seem. And I'm really, really thankful that I'm going to finally get that drilled in my head. Like, you know what you're seeing is probably not what's really going on in the background. So I just wanted to come on here and just say that truth about me real quick. But
Yeah, definitely people are not being, some people are being honest, but I will stand with Kay when she says that if that's the only thing you're posting, I'm not believing it. I'm not. Because reality is that there is no perfect relationship in the sense of nothing is happy all the time. You have two different individuals, two different mindsets coming together as one. There's going to be disagreements, there's going to be friction. Because if you are looking for someone to be exactly like you, then it's going to be boring. So you're not going to be happy anyway. Like you need two individuals coming together as a whole. And that doesn't look like, you know, happiness 100% of the time. It's just, there's going to be arguments. There's going to be disagreements. There's going to be, I need my time away from you. It's all of that. So if you're only posting what looks good, then other people think that that's what their relationships are supposed to look like, then you're going to fail because it's not going to look like that all the time. You may have months of that, and then you could be followed by a storm, you know, that could break you because maybe your communication is not good. Because you look good doesn't mean that you are actually being good to one another. And there's a big difference in that.
There you go, right there.
okay.
I wanted to add this, and I know I've said it before, so I probably sound like a broken record, but given that those people are being honest and they are truly fulfilled, what fulfills them is not going to look like what fulfills you. And that's what you have to remember. Everyone is different. So they might have their ideal relationship, but their version of ideal relationship may be very different from yours. So it's best to tap into who you are, what you appreciate about yourself, and discover what is going to keep those things alive. And then you can pursue yours, and you won't be worried about everybody else. You're like, you know what? They're probably not posting everything, but that's none of my business. That's where I'm at right now. I'm like, oh, that's none of my business.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. All of that. Yeah, it's really beneficial to be true to you and know exactly what you're looking for. And when you are true to you and you start loving yourself in the way that you want someone to love you, then all of the weeds will go away and the grass will come. It'll come to you what you're looking for, and what you're supposed to water, other than what you're supposed to, you know, mow down and throw away.
I think loving yourself is a part of it, but I also think that knowing yourself is a big part of it too, because social media makes you think that this is what you want, when in reality that's not even what you like. You know, you don't even know really what's going on. You know,
yes,
like seriously, you gotta know. Like, my name's Tamasha, and yes, I love myself, but what do I really like? You know what I'm saying? And so I think that people watch social media and they feel like, oh, that looks so good, and oh, I really think that's for me. But then you get it, and it's like, oh, that wasn't for me. Find somebody else to do it. No, take that back.
Mhm.
So now you kind of stuck with that persona of life because social media makes you feel like the mass is doing this because they push it
Mhm.
out. They push it out for the mass to do it. So now, like I said, the whole mass has a problem with their boyfriend. The whole mass is fighting and breaking windows, and you know what I'm saying. But in reality, there are people that are not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So
Okay.
there are people that don't want to be in the quote unquote toxic relationship. You know what I'm saying? There are people that don't find that funny or find that appealing, but because
At all.
the internet makes it seem like, oh, toxic relationship is that's what you want to do. No, just because you have a problem in a relationship doesn't make it a toxic relationship.
Right.
You know?
Yes, I mean, look at these relationships. I can be honest. You'll see the girls going on vacation all the time, and you're like, "Oh, that is so great." But think logistically: is that what you want? Is that going to support the life you're building for yourself?
Exactly.
How am I going to be on a podcast if I am out and about every every weekend? How am I going to be able to support all of these other things I actually have established that I care about if I'm trying to be like some girl on Instagram? You know?
Mhm.
Every time every time that gets mentioned, I think of you guys already know who I'm about to say, Blueface and Krishan.
Yeah.
Holy,
God, I'm so tired of the toxic being glorified.
that
Those
the way
poor
that
babies.
they display that on social media is for us to see every time. I'm just like, so do you think that this is what we want our kids to see? This is not the kind of relationships that we want for our children. Why do you guys keep showing us this?
They want
Like,
us drugged up like that. That's what they're trying to turn social media into, is a drug for us. That's why I don't know if you guys have seen it, but every other day they're telling me you can get more engagement by posting a post like this. I'm like, that's not my
Yeah.
priority on this page. Stop it.
right.
Yeah.
But they're trying to
Yeah.
turn that into its own addiction and its own drug so that we do mirror reality TV shows all the time.
And the major
That
thing
has to be exhausting.
the major thing that I think people forget is that, like in Korea or Japan, they filter what people post. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they don't allow them to post certain things like negative condemnation. Like they don't allow them to do that. We are the only ones that do that. They only want them to post stuff like that's going to grow them, to make them healthy, or they don't allow them to post the same things. I always tell people, like, sometimes, like, go on your TikTok and search out something that happened in China. You know what I'm saying? And go through a bunch of people's stuff that's in China, and you can see it's all about lessons, learning, cooking. You know what I'm saying? Going to the market.
Healthy.
Yes, like, come on, y'all. Like, really, they want you to be like the toxic couple, so they're gonna post that. They want you to be consumed with depression, so they're gonna post people doing stuff like hurting themselves because of their depression, not seeking help, but talking to their friends turning on friends. They're gonna continue to do those things because why would you even call a friend that turns on a person a friend? That's not a friend. That's somebody
No.
who you around. You know what I'm saying? But that's our time. At what point do we get tired of being tricked?
Seriously.
A lot of us don't. It's easy. It's so easy to be negative. It's so easy to fall prey to that toxic. And then you wonder why we're so tired all the time. And that's why we can't think straight. That's why we can't make the decisions we need to make sure that we get certain politicians out of office and some of these laws changed that really benefit us, because we're so tired of listening and doing and living this toxic shit that they putting online. And it looks cool, but really, no, that shit is exhausting and you get burnt out. Like, how are you not exhausted?
I think people are now feel lonely. A big part of their social lives are online because they have us working all kinds of hours. And have you guys ever tried to collaborate and schedule a meetup with your friends and it's like, oh, I'm available this day. Oh, but I'm not available this day. So now that is like the the tree house, essentially the tree house for friends. And so if they are posting positive things, the algorithm is not prioritizing that. And so now they feel isolated. Well, that's why you need to get yourself in a group chat with your friends so that you guys can send your memes and send your positivity and stay connected that way. That's how we need to start using social media.
Seriously.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
It's used. It's like I said, social media has a lot of great aspects to it. I was able to meet, well, 4 of you guys that way. I know Mirage, but so it's a great thing. I was able to make great relationships with it, but it's just God, just the negative. Like I think I don't know if this has anything to do with it. Like our page like tries to promote like positivity and stuff, but all of a sudden like our engagement started going down. I don't know if it's because Facebook is like, oh, I don't know what it is, but like I just have like a lot of suspicion when it comes to that. Like, so the pages that have all this negative stuff, they have millions and millions of followers, right? But our podcasts that we do, we're talking positivity. We're trying to change the narrative, but I
feel like they censor it. When too many people or at a certain number start to engage and it's too positive, we're gonna pull the plug on y'all.
I feel like that a lot of
Like they
times.
do on TikTok. It's called shadow banning. Remember we talked about that. I think that's exactly what happens.
And we're Black women creators, and there are whole studies on the bias on the internet with us. So
yeah. Because we are the source. And if the source gets together and starts to be positive and make changes, whatever control they feel that they have will be gone.
Completely gone. I was just talking to someone about this a couple of days ago, and I was telling them, like Black women, we fight each other the most. You know what I'm saying? Out of any, we're constantly fighting each other, bickering, talking about each other behind our backs,
okay,
messing with the other woman, all kind of stuff like that. But if we could just heal us, it will heal a whole land of people.
Yeah,
it's true.
I completely and wholeheartedly agree. The jealousy that people have because somebody has something that they don't, whether it's very small or significant, you don't really know what that person had to go through or what shoes they had to wear to get that. And so you're coming in thinking that I want this, but you haven't lived through the struggle and fight to get that. You should respect that and try to find the steps to get whatever it is that's going to make you happy. Because what makes me happy, like Kay said, may not make y'all happy. And what makes y'all happy may not make me happy. But if we all happy, we can share the ideals and it can filter down.
No, I completely agree with that. Like there's a person that used to be in my life, and she used to just act so jealous around me because me and her, we both have the same condition, PCOS. And she was just really, really jealous of me and my kids and stuff. And I told her, I'm like, yo, when it's your time, it'll be your time. I had to suffer a lot to get these 2 kids. So it's just, it's a really weird stigma that we have. Like, oh, I have to have what that person has. Like, no. You want what's owed to you, not what that person has. Just like Kay always says. You don't know what they had to go through to get there, or if their dynamic is the same as, the dynamic that you want. So it's just.
That's why a good example are business owners. I will never envy a person that owns a business because I don't want to go possibly 5 years without enough profit. I just don't want to do that. That's not the kind of life I want for myself. So I can never be jealous of it because I know I don't want to put in that kind of work. And that's what people need to look at is what choices would I have to make in order to get what they have? And does that align with who I am and what will fulfill me? No? Okay, then I'm going to go back to minding my business. That's simple.
That's
that part.
That is my biggest issue. When people hear me say, well, I own 2 businesses, they don't understand that I don't sleep at night. I'm up all types of hours. You understand what I'm saying? This week could be a good week. Next week could be a bad week. Like 2 weeks ago, I had a really good, great, awesome week. The week after that, that was like, what? Nobody what? I don't know. I got no plans this week. You know what I'm saying? So and then the money and the time that you put, like I probably invested in one of my business probably $30,000. You understand what I'm saying? And some of that is like, you know, lost, like complete loss. Like I'm not even getting that back. It's gone. You understand? So people are interested of business owners. I keep asking them why. Why? You want to do this? You can do this. Where you work at? I'll do it with your job. Am I gonna get a job? You know what I'm saying? Because although I work a job, like I own 2 businesses, but I still work a job because you have to have a balance.
Hello.
Right. And
that part is missed. Yeah.
And people don't understand that. I'm like, do you have the temperament? Do you have the skills? Are you going to put in the time and you have to lose sleep to learn all of those skills and be really honest about yourself, about every aspect of your life. Like business owners are super critical of every aspect of their life because you have to be successful because everything's impacted by that. It's like, no, you're not going to put in all that work. You don't want to. That's not what you feel you can do. So why are you hating?
Because they're entitled to wanting the end results that they see online. The success is what they want. They just don't want the work. They don't want the work.
Okay. Holly, would you?
So what's so true is like sometimes I don't post certain things because I don't want people to compare their life to my life. You understand what I'm saying? Because I work hard to have my life. Like I work hard to the point where I haven't taken a real vacation like a whole year. You understand what I'm saying? But when I take a vacation, it's gonna be elaborate. You know,
right?
Because I put in the time. I put in the time and energy for that. But that is like a big issue for me when people say, "Oh, well, you know, you have this, you have that," but you don't understand. You have to learn how to. There's a whole bunch of components that go together with what you feel jealous of.
Yep. Holly, would you mind pulling up those past 2 comments? We were on a roll, but I did want to acknowledge them.
Of course. The last 2 comments. So the first one was Brianna.
Yeah.
Love you, Bree.
Yes, that is so true.
It really is.
Yeah, they push extremes. That's what they're doing. They're pushing extremes and trying to suppress critical, constructive thought. They don't want us to operate as individuals. But that is absolutely true. Nope.
Sorry, y'all. The second comment's coming up.
No, it's there.
Oh yeah, that is true. That's true.
Missing out. And what are you really missing out on? Somebody else's something? The entitlement. It goes back to entitlement. And then you feel that you are not worthy or you feel less than because you're not getting their reward. But you're not putting in their work. Everybody has their own lane. Everybody has their own niche. Everybody has their own way through this life. And if you are trying to walk in somebody else's lane in somebody else's shoes, you're going to miss out on you. So yeah, you're not missing out on their life. You're missing out on your own life. And then now you're suffering because of it.
I love that. That's why you said you're going to miss out on you because sometimes you compare yourself to someone so much you don't even get to figure out who the heck you are. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
So important, you know, because you're not missing just because everybody's online and everybody's at a party. Well, guess what? Maybe what you need to be doing is at home. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't have a lot of money in your pocket to be partying like, because they probably don't have the money in their pocket to party like that.
Oh,
you know?
Let's not talk about the amount of tricking you doing to pay your bills while you out trying to live this lifestyle.
This is what I'm
so now you mentally ill because now you got to go up and you got to give up your cookies to get something that you should have had your ass at home working for anyway.
Talk about it, mama. Seriously, and I think that people miss out on other things that are really true to them. Like they miss out on food, they miss out on love, they miss out on spending time with their children, and you know what I'm saying? You miss out on a bunch of stuff trying to keep up with what's going on with social media. Because, you know, like at the end of the day, who cares?
Yeah, that's why
Also, social media is raising your kids, and now your kids fighting at school, and now they gone viral on social media, and you mad, and you trying to beat their ass, and they emulating that shit what they see at school with the teachers that you doing at home, and it looks
Oof.
cool because it's on social media.
Right.
I just wanted to say I want to go back to the previous point about comparison, and I told the ladies this morning. To me, I see it as a violent act now. I consider it abuse because it's an insult to your greatness. It's an insult to your existence in your present time because you are missing out, and it's paralyzing. People get paralyzed by comparing. They compare so much that they do nothing. They don't do anything. And they'll think themselves out of doing things because they're comparing instead of just tapping into who they are and focusing on themselves.
Yo, that calls for a sip moment, okay? Y'all want to have a sip moment?
I got tea today.
It's okay. I got my Avion.
The water.
Oh, I've got a mimosa.
All right, y'all. We're gonna take a sip. Ooh, whenever it decides to load.
Damn, I drank the rest of my water.
Yeah. I need a sip because y'all was dropping gems and it was just taking it in. Oh, yeah. Y'all. Well, I was gonna ask you what kind of tea you drinking, but
yeah, what kind?
Hey, I said I was drinking tea.
Is that a hot toddy?
It's in a cup, but it may not be the tea from the cup, but it's in the cup.
Okay.
I ain't mad at you.
Last week it was
Oh man.
It's so discouraging when people are on social media and it's constant fighting, and people can't bounce back from that. And really, I feel bad for adults, but I feel bad for the younger people who don't know that this is fake. Their minds haven't matured enough to know that this is not real. So when you have young women whose body look a certain way, who's trying to do all this, augmentation to look like a grown ass woman who had their body done, so they're not even real sometimes. When you talk about loving yourself and realizing that we're made how we're supposed to be. So all this added stuff, there's not enough research to know what is that going to look like down the line. How is that going to affect you internally? So you're trying to look a certain way, but you're killing yourself from the inside out. And there's not enough mature adults who are not living the baddie lifestyle to tell the young people that you don't really want to do this to yourself at any time, but especially at a younger age when you're still developing. You don't know what your body is going to do anyway.
Also, that's all fashion. Now they've made bodies into fashion. So you don't know if that's going to be out of style because now the biggest influencers that were promoting the BBL looks have deflated their bodies essentially and are going back to heroin chic now. So why try to follow a trend?
Exactly.
Just let your body do what it is doing. And if you're going to make any changes to your body, make sure they're changes that you will be happy with long term. When it's out of style, because it will be out of style.
Yeah.
If you're lucky to live up long enough, it will be out of style soon.
Yeah. Don't make long-term decisions for your body that short-term will change anyway.
Yep.
I think that, like you said, the children are the most important thing because a lot of them at young ages, 7, I think the last child I heard was like 6 years old and committed suicide due to social media. You know what I'm saying? Due to being picked at and people posting and, things like that. But they get it from the adults. You know what I'm saying? Like essentially, those kids learned that at home from their parents, somebody's business or a picture or something online, and then everybody's laughing at them. But I think that people forget that kids don't understand. Like, they don't understand. All they know is that to them, social media is real and it's not going away. And everybody just seen it and everybody's talking about me. And you know what? Forget it. This world is better without me. And I don't think that's fair.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, well, they were born with social media being ever present in our lives. We grew up and grew into it. They're born with it there.
Sure
They're born with parents debating, you know, should we do the gender reveal and post it online, a baby shower online? Like, they're online before they're online or in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a different. They don't have that disconnect or that line. It's all part of their world.
One of the things that I am very happy about in my old ass age is that we had Polaroids, so it would have to be a Polaroid. There's no camera phone. There's none of that going on. So you don't have to worry about I didn't have to worry about seeing certain things on social media in my age. So it had to be what it is. Now, there was a lot of bullying in school and all of that, but I don't tolerate giving it or taking it. So
Can I just say something? You're not old. Can I just point that out?
I'm right, y'all.
Stop.
Don't worry, me too. I'm very right.
That bothers me so, because I'm like, you ain't nowhere near.
Well, I'll say older than y'all. I'll say that.
Okay.
All right, that's fair, I guess.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
But I just think it's so sad and unfortunate that technology has come to almost make our lives better. It's supposed to make our lives better, but it's killing us faster than we are killing ourselves. Actually, what we are introduced to, what we tolerate, it's just a lot, and it does affect our mental health more than people want to say that it does. He said, "I'm not." Oh, yeah, seasoned. Get it. Slap your mama seasoned.
Okay. we seasoned. We ain't always seasoned.
Yeah, I like that.
Chef's kiss.
I like
It's
that.
just-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
There was a comment in the chat. It said, my man said we were taught to be leaders, but now we are the followers. When you read that, I thought that was unique because now, like everybody's looking for followers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like even when you post your thing, you like, share, follow. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who are the leaders?
Yeah.
That's fair.
You're right. That's a very good observation, quote, in fact. Mm-hmm. It's almost like the when you're younger and your mom says, if all your friends gonna jump off the bridge, are you going to too?
Do it too. Yeah.
And for today's generation, everybody's jumping off the bridge. No questions asked.
Of course.
You have to ask. They just, if I see a certain person do it, then I'm gonna do it because it has to be, safe. There's no regard to whether it is safe for me, whether it's good for me. They're doing it, so it has to be good.
Right. Something I did not know, and I don't know it because I'm not in that younger, you know what I'm saying, that younger area of people. But something I did not know is that I guess lately people were saying, young people were saying that everybody going to hell, like all their friends are in hell because maybe they unalive somebody or something like that. So now everybody wants to go to hell. I was like, what? Wait, say it again. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not understanding. So their friends have done stuff. Now, this is social media. Their friends have done stuff on social media. Okay, take me to hell. So now all the young people saying they want to go to hell where their friends at. I was like, okay. First
hell is here on earth.
I was like,
hello,
can like what?
Yeah, that's confusing.
That came from a young person, so I was like, I'm confused.
It's disturbing.
That's very disturbing.
But it's a social media thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a social media thing. It's a view that they get from social media.
I feel like I've seen those. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was so confused.
And it's supposed to be funny because we're all we're from religious families, and so It's supposed to be like a spit in the face, you know, to how we were raised. And it's like, you know, our parents don't think we're good enough to get access there. So we all gonna be here laughing or whatever. But to me, it's just too far. I'm like, like I get the humor, but it's just too far for me because I'm still just a tad bit superstitious. Like that's too far.
I just also feel like what I said, we're already here in hell on this ghetto ass planet anyway.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. The idea of suffering in the afterlife after this.
Yeah.
Right.
Like after
No, thank
suffering
you.
here, why I want to go somewhere else and suffer?
America is wretched enough, so
This shit ratchet, girl, Lord.
I don't know. It reminds me of this post that somebody posted. I don't know if you guys know who King Von was. But it just, so it was talking about like his ex-girlfriend or whatever. And it says that King Von is looking up at her. I think you guys know what that means. When somebody's looking up and obviously not looking down. And I was just like, damn, I'm like, this guy, he's not, I mean, I have my opinions of the kid, but it's, yeah, they just be playing too much with that hell and heaven stuff. I'm like, you guys,
because missing that, what's the C word, Kay? Compassion is gone. Yep. No regards for life at all. We're so mentally destroyed and so what's the word? Desensitized. That
desensitized.
Jeez Louise, that even people that I dislike, even when they die, it's not really a celebration. You know, especially if it's in a horrific manner, it's not something that I'm gonna go out and do the WAP to. Y'all know what the WAP is? The young people.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just, and there's no outlet. I feel like people spend a lot of time on social media, so there's no outlet for real life anymore.
No. Y'all remember back in the day, we used to go play outside before the street lights came on.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, but also as technology has advanced, also it also made things. I hate to say it like this, but things were, I guess, a little bit safer back then. And as technology advanced, it just became easier for people to be creeps and, you know,
Oh no, they existed. That's why 90s parents got more intense because kids were getting abducted and things like crazy. That's how the Dahmers and things in my day.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He exists all the time, but they had to. They didn't have it at their fingertips to be able to look up your address and have access to you. One of the things that I know that I hate, couple things. I hate when you call someone's house that still has a house phone and the voice recorder have children on it. You're just letting somebody who may have dialed the wrong number know that you have children there. And two, when you on your car, you have your child's soccer team or whatever, and it has the number of their jersey and the name. Why? And, you know, just certain things like that. I don't want you to know that I have 3 kids and a dog on my car as I'm driving around so you can follow me to my house to get what I need to get. It was just...
I know we the same old school people because every time I see those stickers, it make me cringe. Because I'm like, why do you got your whole family unit on the back of your car?
I agree with this.
Like your whole family, for everybody to know, like, okay, like you say, 3 kids and a dog. So now we to your house and now I'm gonna sit outside and watch. And because we feel like all the time we're kind of safe or we're distracted by our phones, you know what I'm saying? We're not paying attention to the different people that are in the neighborhood. Because now social media has made you feel like nobody can't say nothing to your children. So now we don't have protective neighborhoods anymore where, you know, we look out for everybody. Now everybody kind of like, I better just mind my business because I ain't trying to get into no argument with her about her kids. You know?
Right. And you got the jersey number 8 with Smith on the back or Lacey or whatever the kid's name is. So while you on your phone scrolling, somebody is walking up to her and saying, hey, Lacey, you know, your mom told me blah, blah, blah. And then there they go. Because how do you know my name if my mom didn't tell you? Because it's on the damn phone. It's this social media, yeah. I like to call it sometimes Skynet from the Terminator. Skynet.
Yeah, I know.
It's just come to kill us all.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. That was like it's a warning. Some people find those movies corny, but I feel like when they start showing the abundance of a certain theme of a movie, then we have to pay attention because they are trying to desensitize us to what's really going on and what's really happening.
That's what I was telling somebody that too. I was like, I remember when I was growing up, even in Western movies, you did not see blood. You might have seen like the gun pop with the little smoke come out, but that's when I was growing up. Even in cartoons, you didn't see the girl would be like supposed to be naked, but not naked. In movies, people would see sex scenes, but you would not see the sex. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something, but not really. It just kind of like it'll go into the beginning and then it'll fade out into something else, you know. But now, anything goes on the radio now.
True that.
So, ladies, I have a question for you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to talk about how your family / parents, just anybody in the family, can affect your mental health growing up, like as an adult.
Ooh, that's a big one.
And that's what sets the foundation.
Yep. My first bully. Yep.
My first bully was in the home.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure was.
And those are the first.
We're already mentally affected before we get online. That's why what makes it so susceptible to it is because we've been bullied by our families and our loved ones and those that are closer to us. So our guards are already down. And then and then here comes social media. So I feel like it's like double damaging. But I don't think our families, because it happens so often and we're just supposed to accept things as they come down. Like so-and-so, my mom battered and beat me and I'm here today. So I'm going to beat you. So you can be here tomorrow and so on and so forth. Not realizing that you really are damaging. And physical abuse is hard, but the bruises disappear. That mental, what they do to you mentally stays with you for a long time. It just doesn't clear up and go away. It stays with you. And that's the damaging part.
Exactly.
I agree. Never goes away.
No. You got to put some hard work in it.
Very.
That's why there are a lot of conversations about our inner child. But the thing is, the pages that expose me to that rhetoric about reparenting your inner child, they're the ones being suppressed now. I have to type in their pages to find them, to be part of those conversations again, because they're not just popping up on the feed.
Yeah. They don't want us to heal.
No. I was going to say people are healing and people are changing their minds and people are, like being a mindset coach. I find that a lot of people, it takes a little minute for people to come and get my service. They'll follow me, they'll like my posts, they'll be in my inbox asking questions, but it takes a little minute because I explain to them it's work. It's work, it's hurtful. You get to find out things about people that loved you or raised you or were around you your whole life and you have a lot of respect for, and you get to find out like those things were wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the direction you sent me in was completely wrong for me for my life. And just like as a parent, I had to detox certain things in my life. And not saying that I didn't have a good life, because I had a good life as a child. You know what I'm saying? But some things were damaging. And so I had to decide, like, as a parent, am I going to do this to my children? Like, my children are raised more on they're raised on love, but they get to make decisions and they get to talk. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I think it's important to do that, even though they call me an old school parent all the time.
At first,
I think it's important to do that because I want them to know that you have an opinion. You should be respected. You should be listened to. My opinion is not to control you just because you're my child. Yes, I'm going to keep you centered and I'm going to teach you like this is what you should do versus, okay, well, what do you think you should do? I let them bump their heads because some decisions I just let them make. Like, go ahead. I know it's not going to work, but just go ahead and try it. All bad decisions you can make while you're with me.
Right.
Because
Mm,
right outside that door,
mm,
I agree. I mean, that's just something you just learn as you go. Um, I found myself making those mistakes with my son, you know, just because that's how I was raised, and I thought it was okay and stuff. But like now, I feel like I'm learning. Um, I just feel like, you know, I tell my son like every day I love him. I didn't get that from my parents, you know.
mm,
They never did that before. I'm not a big fan of hugging. They don't hug,
mm,
so I never,
Yeah.
you know, like those type of things matter.
mhm.
He gets the opposite of that now because, you know, like that's what I always craved and that's what I always wanted from my own family. So I wouldn't want him to go through that again, you know, or
No,
do that like I did.
I love that for
Yeah,
y'all.
yes.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
definitely.
That's
Yeah.
I do agree with you. That's one of the things. I don't ever remember my mom telling me that she loved me. I don't remember the hugging or anything. So the one thing that I purposefully and maliciously did with my son is told him that I love him every day,
Mhm.
multiple times a day. I'm like, will hug him. And I do the same thing with my grandson because I know what it feels like to not really know whether your parents love you or they just taking care of you because they had you.
Have
And it
to.
is a
Yeah.
Mm,
completely different feeling
Because they
than,
had,
you know, I love you because I
mhm.
had you. So I got
right.
to take care of you, but I don't really love you as a person or a human being.
Who you
Yeah.
But when you get old, I'm supposed to take care of you. Take care of
Right.
you. I'm supposed to reciprocate the love you didn't give to me.
right,
No,
exactly.
I'm so that if I can go ahead. So my mom, Rob knows. She knows African parents. So my mom was very affectionate. I always got hugs, kisses. She told us she loved us every day. My father was in the house, but he wasn't there. It
Mhm.
Mm,
was literally just like another person just paying the bills. And you know what African parents say, oh, we pay the bills, we put food on the table,
That's
that's
all
how
they
we show
need.
love, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, that's great, right? That's great that you do that. You have to do that. But what about the emotional aspect, the mental aspect? Like, hey, Dad, can we go do something other than going to the junkyard today? You have daughters. It
Yeah,
just
mental.
that's why I had to change the narrative too, because I'm like, I can't. I just couldn't do that. I don't want my kids to just see me on at a desk typing. Oh, we gotta spend some time with mommy. Oh, yeah, mommy's busy right now. Can we do that at 3?
Yeah.
Like, no,
Yeah.
I hate.
Oh,
It's too
that's
much. I
me.
put a roof over your head. Like, no, it's not enough. You gotta love your kids, show them
Yeah.
affection, spend time with them, and you know, things like that. So I make sure to do it differently. Like you said, African parents, they don't know about affection like that.
No.
Know about things like that. They just raise you and they're like, you should be happy that I feed you every day and you have a roof
Mhm.
over your head
Yep.
and take it.
Ridiculous.
You know, you should be grateful. Go be a doctor or a lawyer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And fairness to them, that was all they were probably exposed to.
That's
Yeah.
true
So
too.
we're breaking the
Yeah.
mold.
Yes, you're
Yes.
completely right. Or worse, honestly. They probably
Yeah.
lived way worse than us back
Hmm.
Yeah.
when they actually lived. You know? So I can kind of get that side too, but I just have to make for
I want to say I'm proud of y'all. I'm definitely proud of you guys for breaking that mold, because I know how hard it is to step out of that and really start from scratch. It's like starting from scratch when you're doing something so different and accessing different layers that you never got exposed to.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hooey, that part. And
That part.
just going back to just I'm speaking as being an African kid. The whole, well, no, this is just being black in general, being black African, black American, black Mexican, like the whole thing of getting help for your mental health was just like a
yeah.
huge thing. They're like, oh, what do you need that for? I'm like,
It's
Yep.
so
Better
taboo. Ain't
you
nothing wrong with you.
country. If I
Hmm.
tell my mom anything about mental health, she's like, "What? This is some American stuff you're bringing up. We
there it
bring
is. Yep,
all
that's the first thing my dad said. Well,
like
that's American stuff. I'm like, I'm American.
you think
You forget that you had me here? Yeah, that's American stuff. Yeah.
they don't have that type
Yeah.
of back home. You know, they don't
No,
talk
they don't.
about. You have to be a strong person. You just gotta work really hard and just survive and stuff like that. you don't get that time for mental health or to talk about it or anything like that, you know, especially back home. And then they bring that over here and they expect you to live in, you know, in an African lifestyle. That's not how it works.
Yeah, that shit blows my mind. Actually, I'm just like you. I mean, you can have your culture, but you have to realize, like I said, I was born in North Carolina. Okay, like I don't know Africa.
Hey, Pablo.
Yeah, I was
But seriously though, it's just
therapy is so taboo in the Black culture all the way around the block and twice over. It is so unreal. Like, ain't nothing wrong with you. You got everything you needed. Well, no, you may have fed me or clothed me, but the things that make me a human being, you didn't give me, and I'm struggling. And when I come to you, you tell me ain't nothing wrong. So I gotta talk to somebody.
Or you call it the devil. That was me. They would call it the devil. Say we're gonna take you to church. You could talk to the pastor about this.
Okay.
The pastors have their own agenda sometimes.
Okay.
And their own demons.
That part. And they mix together, all three of them. Mix together and it's a disaster.
I used to hate that. I
think it's the individuality. Like, people don't recognize that people are individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot. I have 2 kids, so I don't raise them exactly the same. You understand what I'm saying? One child I can this way because that's his personality and he can take that. You know what I'm saying? I'm the same person across the board. You know, like, whether it's hard to understand if I'm upset or, you know, unless I say like I don't like that or I'm like stern in my conversation. But one child, I can show him like I'm very upset about what you did, and I can talk to him and look him in the face and be very stern. And the other one, I got to tell him like, hey, come here. You know, I want to talk to you. Close the door, because he doesn't like to be embarrassed. You know, like, close the door, sit down, let's have a conversation, and I can get further with him. If I go to him like, rah, 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 he's gonna be like, you know, you have to meet them where they are.
Thank you. Like, why don't people get that?
Yeah.
And I think that's where the downfall comes with African American parents or brown parents, or, you know, parents that are not Western, because at one point we were taught to talk to our children. You know what I'm saying? And then at another point, don't talk to them. They just have to appreciate what you're doing for them and who you are in their life, and that's the end of it. But they human beings too.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're people, little people.
Little people.
With a lot of feelings.
Who don't know. So they learn at a certain age through trial and error and asking a bunch of questions. So when you tell them to shut up talking and stop asking me, how else do they learn?
Exactly.
You know? But then you expect them to know everything. Especially at a certain age. You expect for them to know everything and how to behave. And then we get online and see that people that your own age as adults don't know how to act either and don't know a lot of things. So
there was this TikTok I shared on my page. It was this African lady from my parents' country, and she was talking about how African parents need to change the mentality. So she was telling a story about how us Black parents, when we go to like parent-teacher conferences and we found out that our kids have bad grades, we side-eye our kid. We mug them, right? We sit there, we listen to the teacher, and then we start scolding the kids as soon as we walk out, instead of trying to help our kid, trying to figure out why are their grades bad? How about we get you a tutor? How about you stay after school and do that? No, we don't do that. We sit there, we literally scold them and be like, why the fuck you ain't paying attention in school? You and them little, like, that's so damaging.
Yeah. It is, because not everybody learns just by sitting in the class all day.
Okay.
That part.
Well, I'm honestly going to say, like I said before in the last video we did, statistically, African American boys especially learn different from anybody else. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why the dropout rate for African American boys or Black boys or brown boys is so large, because they learn differently. That's genetics. You understand what I'm saying? And so Western education makes the education that way so they don't learn.
I
Through it, You understand what I'm saying? You have it that way, but it's a whole
Prison.
thing of like
Yep.
depression. You understand what I'm saying? So African American females, we learn a different way. It's genetic. You understand? It's completely
Mhm.
genetic. So if they're not, they might not be learning in class, or they might be moving around in class or something. But I know from Alabama to Florida, my younger son did really well in Alabama, but they could sit on the floor and do their work. They could music and do their work. They could do everything else. They had standardized testing, but it was still. And then when he comes to Florida, it's like he's struggling. You know what I'm saying? Because now he has to sit in this desk. He can't move. You know, like it's a total different atmosphere. You have to give African American boys some kind of slack as a parent, so that you can understand what their learning frame is. You know what I'm saying?
Especially in Florida, because I feel like they can't even breathe there.
Okay.
You
already know. I was gonna say something about Florida. You already know.
Moment of silence for me. What?
Florida.
Oh man, Florida is going. Demisha, I'm gonna need you to move somewhere else because it's about to break off and go into the water at this point.
Yeah, get away from that
break
that
off
negative state.
Break off and go into the water.
Florida is off the chain.
In the next 3
with
weeks,
DeSantis, whatever the hell his name is.
He's
DeSantis,
for president.
the governor.
He will never.
Oh.
Yeah, he would never.
He would never.
No, he don't even know how to govern that state. Come on.
Yeah, we sure did.
But any of y'all ladies have any final words? We did go over the time just a little bit, but that happens.
Sorry.
No, it
Love
happens.
yourself. Know that what you see online may not always be true. If you know you through and through, you can look at a bunch of stuff that you think that you deserve, but have not put in the work for, and just put in the work to get what you want. Somebody else's life is not your life. Live your life for you and stay in your lane. That would help you mentally. Don't be jealous of what someone else has, where somewhere else is going, where they live, or what they have. When you are supposed to have those things, if you are to have those things, it will come, because what's for you is for you, and somebody else's life may not be for you. So get to know you, get to like you, get to love you. Be mentally strong, y'all. Get some help. Therapy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anybody else want to close us out?
I was just going to say, log into yourself, connect with yourself, use social media to connect, and look at comparison as abuse, because it is. You're abusing yourself by comparing yourself. Just connect with yourself, connect with what you want, connect with those you know love you in real life, and deactivate or tune out whenever you need to. Seriously, don't be afraid to just unplug.
Perfect.
You need to coin that, Kay. Comparison is abuse.
No, seriously. Definitely gonna coin that.
Because it is.
Marav or Zitmouth?
My is there to be different.
I would let your mind work for you, not against you.
Okay.
Like the lady said,
Like that.
be your own person. Don't try to impress nobody. Social media is mostly all fake. Anything that you see on there, people happy, relationships, it's all not all of it, but most of the times it's not really that. So don't compare yourself with anybody else's life or relationship, you know. And yeah.
Here it is.
Beautiful.
Definitely dare to be different. You know, stand out, be an individual. It's okay. Like, you don't have to follow the trend. You don't have to be like the people. You don't have to do what they're doing. And just because you see it on social media does not mean that it's true. Sometimes people are just posting just to post. You know, just posting just to post. Nothing behind it. No, nothing. Live your life your way so you can figure out who you are. Love yourself, respect yourself, know yourself.
Boom.
There it is. I love that. Kay, you wanna take us out today? Oh, happy Mother's Day to y'all.
Oh yes, happy Mother's Day,
everybody.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
We will see you guys later.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in with Morning Mimosas, where we put value in criminal justice and promoting education and healing for the Black community. See you guys real soon.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye.